Working.
What's going on, everyone? Back at it here, AFR, not after hours right now. Normal live show. We haven't done a normal live show in a minute. Super excited to get this going. Episode 56, trucking over a year now. Catch us out on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever you listen to your podcast. Hop on. We're always at it Tuesday nights after 7 p.m. So got a full lineup today. Didn't really think we would have to touch on as much stuff as we did, but football free agency just started and it's exploded already. Got some NBA updates. Everyone knows the barn burner between the Knicks and the Sixers Sunday. I have to touch on that.
Didn't even watch it.
Wild UFC card. Ben, Chase both watched a good chunk of that, and that was wild in itself. A NASCAR update by Chase. No sneak peeks, but his boy's been turning that corner hard. And then our crazy name bracket update. Ben was going to break down how we laid it out and how the voting works going forward. So, yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be here with you guys after another action-packed weekend.
Yeah, excited to do this, and it's going to be a fun couple weeks with this. So much going on now, and then obviously March Madness starts next week, which is just a huge event for us. I know we get really into the brackets, and we're going to have some giveaways for an AFR, bracket group. So,
oh yeah, I've been already dropping the plug out there. We should get it out on social media too, that we're going to have our own to just get as many people as we can to join. It'll be fun, and it's something we can break down on Tuesdays too. Give some shout outs to some of our listeners.
Yeah, it'll be free and be some prizes for the winners. So see if anyone can pick the correct team this year.
And just to be clear, we're not going to have individual brackets, right? We're doing an AFR bracket.
In that one, we are just going to do one AFR bracket. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and a duck race bracket.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Everyone on AFR knows we love duck races. So.
All right. Well, let's get into some football. It was a absolutely crazy. I mean, how long has it been? 48 hours? 20?
Yeah.
It's just been like nonstop action. So we're gonna just go to football rumors and kind of just walk through some moves that we've seen, and I think everyone should be able to see this.
Oh yeah,
Chase, let us know if it needs to be zoomed in at all.
Zoom in a little bit there.
Oh yeah,
there we go.
The running backs. I mean, I'm sure we're about to get into it, but the running backs have been. I'm excited about that.
So we'll just kind of scroll through. We can kind of talk. Anything we want to touch on.
Yeah, so that one right there.
Yeah.
The Deontay Johnson for Dante Jackson. I think that's a really good move for the Steelers. You're moving on from a guy who seemed disinterested in playing football versus a Dante Jackson who had a slight down year, but still really productive overall. He basically is just going to fit what the Steelers do. And cornerback was a big need for them. To pair with him now with Joey Porter Jr., that's a pretty solid combo for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to your point, Chase, it seems like the Steelers know when they have a good wide receiver, and it's like kind of like Chase Claypool-esque with like a wide receiver that kind of just doesn't fit in there, and he moves on, and he's not gonna. Is he gonna give Bryce Young something? Probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers needed a wide receiver, and he's definitely better than anyone else they have on their roster right now. But the Steelers. Got to give them a little bit of credit here. They got Russell Wilson on the vet minimum, so they're not even paying him a whole lot, which I think is a benefit to them. You have Kenny Pickett in the bag, and then if you bring in Russell Wilson and he beats him out, it's better for you. And we'll get to it soon down on here, but they picked up Patrick Queen. Middle linebacker has been a trouble spot for the Steelers since Ryan Shazier had his unfortunate injury, and that's years ago at this point. So for them to finally step up and get somebody, it's really big for them.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Patrick Queen, Chase. I know you kind of assumed he was going to be gone, but
tough I don't care. I have Roquan Smith, so everything's all good in my world.
Yeah, well, and you guys, I mean, we can jump right to it. You guys made a big signing here. I'm sure Ryan's kind of wishing it was for his team, but
Yeah. First glance, Chase, I'm sure you're going to want to dive into this, but first glance to me is I'm scared. I'm scared because of how many Ravens running backs just bite the bullet early on and are basically injury-ridden the rest of the year. For me personally, I wanted him on Dallas. First, I know we're going to get to the Barkley signing, but, as a Cowboys fan, I just wanted a nice big back. Obviously, there's tiny backs, they're good, but Pollard wasn't a true number one back. So I was pulling for Henry. I think this is a great signing for him. I think it's a great signing for the Ravens. Chase, what do you think?
Yeah. So overall, his price tag, $8 million a year, not bad at all. The only thing this signals to me is that Odell Beckham is done in Baltimore. So you take out Odell, you put in Derrick Henry for $8 million. Then I think it's a better fit overall. Yes, he's going to be 30. I think he turned 31 in January. Regardless, it'll be his age 31 season. He's got a lot of miles on him. He's got 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I think that the Titans were a dumpster fire last year, so I think that he still has a lot in the gas tank, especially behind a good Ravens scheme. They just know how to get people open. I can't say that their offensive line right now today is any better than what the Titans have, but I think they have a better opportunity to put far more talent around him, plus a franchise quarterback. So I think it's a really good position for Derrick Henry. I would say the people in Baltimore probably wanted Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, some of these other guys a little bit more than Derrick Henry. Yeah. But I think that's only because of the seasons he's had. So on paper, it doesn't look as thrilling, but I think you're still getting someone who's way better, who's a top 10 back anyways.
And Chase, just think about it. He doesn't have to be a 30 back. Like, their wide receiving core is better. They have the MVP. You're literally pairing the MVP with the king. Like,
it's almost just replacing Gus Edwards. I mean, it's like he can do the same type of things as Edwards. And
oh my gosh, and with Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry can catch the ball now too. A really underrated part of his game that he's picked up the last 2-3 seasons too.
I'm excited to see him on a winning like, not that the Titans were always bad. They had some decent years, but I mean, to be on a true winning franchise like the Ravens are, I think that's good for him, and it probably gets him excited as he's towards the end of his career.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't want to face anyone else this year in the Super Bowl now than the Ravens, because I like Derrick Henry so much, and I'm going to be rooting for him.
Yeah, I'm hoping. And like you were saying, Gus Edwards went to the Chargers for $6.5 million, and you're getting Henry for $8 million.
Yeah.
So $2 million difference. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of risk because it's not a long deal like with a running back. So, even if he has not a great year this year, I mean, you're on the hook for not a ridiculous amount of money, and you decide what you want to do next year. But
yeah,
the running backs have been
it's been crazy.
I mean,
you can look just at the right here. Obviously, Saquon was huge news to the Eagles.
Yep.
Everyone's pumped about that, by the way, because you have so many Penn State fans who are also Eagles fans.
Well, and Saquon again, another guy going to a winning team that if he's healthy, and now he gets to go behind a much better offensive line too.
It's crazy. Didn't he come out though and say how he wanted to be a part of the Giants' success? Like last year, they interviewed him. He basically was like, "I want to help them win."
I mean, he was there for 6 years though.
6?
Yeah.
Has it been 6?
I mean, at some point, how long is a running back's lifespan in the NFL? He's given, the Giants are just not. They're not.
And they picked last year. They had the choice between Barkley and Daniel Jones, and they gave Daniel Jones the bag. And in retrospect, probably not the best idea.
Oh, in a quarterback league, that was a mess for sure. I think Barkley, by the way, for the Eagles, I know they're not my number one team anymore. I think it's a huge win. I think any running back in today's NFL, I would say, is just about injury prone. I mean, it just happens all the time. The physicality is just insane these days. I think Barkley has plenty left in the tank. And on top of the Eagles move, I mean, Barkley's a win. They're getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, who I think he just left for 1, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah, he left last year because they didn't offer him a deal. So they right the wrong there and just give him the money. And it's a good fit for them. They also signed Bryce Huff as a defensive end from Ben's Jets. I don't know how much of a loss it is for the Jets, but for the Eagles, this pretty much signals that they're going to trade either Josh Sweat or Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Well, that was I think the biggest contract ever for a
non-drafted player. Yeah.
No, they signed Devontae Parker, so
yeah, which is a solid move. I mean, I don't think Devontae Parker is totally cooked, and just for guys' depth, he's better than anything that they had. Just interesting though, because this draft is loaded with wide receivers. So
Yeah.
I guess that kind of signals where they might go draft wise. It might just be heavy defense for them.
Well, Chase, just think how many times have the Eagles missed on wide receiver picks in the draft?
Oh yeah. I mean, I totally agree. For the Ravens too, I'd rather almost have them sign people than draft a wide receiver because they always draft somebody who's hurt or gets hurt in training camp, misses the entire year, halfway comes back the second year, gets hurt his third year, fourth year, not so great, and fifth year now, you basically just have to put them on and you get a Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
So
I just touch on as we're kind of going down here. The Jets, they had a kind of a quiet day one, but they've been a little more active.
Hold on. Yo, I'm sorry. Ben's dog busted so bad again. He's not even in the screen. He's so far away. I don't understand. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah,
Continue.
so Ryan laughs, that's why. But their first signing was Greg Zerloin because he actually had a really good year last year.
And he's either started his career. He was on the Jets at one point, right?
Last year.
Greg DeLay?
Yeah.
They just brought him back.
They just brought him back.
Why
They signed Tyrod Taylor as their backup QB, so hopefully a little more prepared. The most interesting signing to me for them was Javon Kinlaw because he's definitely has potential. He hasn't maybe lived up to it, but it reunites Salah and Kinlaw together, just kind of back from the 49ers defense. So I'm happy with that. They haven't really done much with the line. I think they got one guy, but that tells me that they're probably gonna really target the line in the draft.
Which the Jets have done really well in drafting linemen, I think, in recent years.
They have, but the guys have not stayed healthy. Like Becton, those guys just haven't stayed healthy.
Maybe they will this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. You guys signed John Simpson away from the Ravens. He was with the Raiders and then fell off with them. Kind of refound his form with the Ravens and then cashed in. So hopefully it'll be a decent player for you guys this year.
Yeah, Chase, what do you think of? I saw Austin Eckler to the Commanders. What do you think about that? It feels really weird.
I mean, in one way, I think it's good for him because he needs to have a prove it year. I think he lost a little speed last year, and that could have just been from injuries. And then the Chargers have probably one of the worst offensive lines. I mean, they have a nice left tackle, but other than that, they could really use a lot of help. So I don't think that continued with failure of a head coach, kind of just put him in a really bad position. But I was actually surprised. I've heard a lot of people say that he's cooked at this point, but I don't think he's that bad. And with the Commanders, he should get a lot of runs. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the Commanders, we talked about them time and time again, how they haven't had a legit back and who knows how long. And I think maybe AP towards the end of his career, they kind of try to make that work and it didn't. But I feel like it's kind of a good risk for both sides to that one.
Yeah. Speaking of AP, not to get sidetracked, but I just want to bring up, I hope he's doing okay. I don't know if you guys saw, but he had like a state auction of his whole, like he sold like all of his MVP, his like college stuff, his like NFL stuff, like selling off basically everything in auction. And because from what I hear, he's into some like bad financial stuff. So hopefully hopefully everything's all right on that end.
Damn.
But I know like all of his like pro, like his rank, like any like trophies or like things he had is all like up for auction, like all of his personal stuff. So.
And he got the bag, and he after the knee injury came back and had some good years.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but anyway, to get just because I meant to bring that up like weeks ago, and then
By the way, real quick, I saw Sam Darnold signed by the Vikings. Could he be the starter there this year? I still feel like could be a QB1 in the NFL.
They just have journeyman quarterback after journeyman quarterback right now.
It depends if the Vikings I guess it all depends if the Vikings make a move in the draft and they want Darnold to like. I mean, he's probably a decent stopgap quarterback if they want.
He could even like start the first 6 to 8 games before if they draft somebody.
Yeah,
and he plays well, I mean, I don't know. He's one of those guys
drafting like a JJ McCarthy, having Darnold start and then seeing what McCarthy does when they're out of the playoff race. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Vikings really do. If they're going to be a wild card team to trade up in the draft, it should be them. I don't think they have a lot to lose, honestly.
Yeah. I love that Josh McCown is the Vikings QB coach, though.
Great QB coach right there.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, we should talk about the reason we're talking about Sam Darnold starting was because Kirk Cousins went to the Falcons, and I feel like one of the worst QBs to get a ton of money throughout his career. Am I off with that take?
I think Sam Bradford, clear number 1. Kirk Cousins, clear number 2.
He's just a great regular season guy. He's like the opposite of like a Eli Manning, who's like pedestrian in the regular season and then just turns it on. He doesn't. He never.
Like I'm trying to think of like is Phillip Rivers a good comparison? I don't even like this guy's gotten paid.
Yeah, I don't know why the Falcons are all so excited because he's never showed anything.
And they're choke artists. Their franchises ever since the Patriots have not.
Yeah, at least Matt Ryan won an MVP.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we should see how much Kirk Cousins has made and how much Sam Bradford made.
Oh yeah,
because they both have made an ungodly amount of money for barely good results.
So is Kirk Cousins' career earnings?
He's made more than Matt Stafford, Russell Wilson.
I don't know if that includes this deal or not, but
and those other 2 guys have a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, I mean Tannehill's pretty bad, but
that's pretty good for Tannehill.
Yeah.
Chase, are you seeing this screen?
Yeah. Yep.
Almost 130
million.
Despite
look at his record.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
That is awful.
Yeah, but is there any other moves you guys want to talk about? I know there was so many.
Running back, it's just
the running backs was crazy. I mean, honestly, the other thing, the Texans are gonna be. I know they're just improving upon last year.
Yeah.
Do you think the running back thing is the last 2 years we've seen holdouts and basically guys wanting to stay with their current teams, trying to get a 3, 4, 5 year deal, get the bag. And at this point, they're just getting shunned. So at this point, every running back and their brother is in for just get as much money as they can quickly, and they don't care what team it is. Like, it's kind of like the vibes I'm getting. Like, they're giving up on trying to like hold out to try to get a payday, and they're like, you know what? I'll go to a competitive team, or I'll just chase however much money I can get on like a 2, 3 year deal. Because it feels like, do you realize how many RB1s switch teams and it's been 48 hours? It's crazy.
The running back that stays with a team for his career is done. It seems like just the Barry Sanders, those guys. It just doesn't matter anymore.
I think the other thing too is the draft for running backs this year not so great, and so many teams went the year and having an injured running back, so they complain and make it not a valuable position. But by virtue of that, I think over the last few years, they made it important again in a way. Like, it is nice, and especially for the Ravens, you went out and signed a bell cow guy. If they're only going to give him 10 to 15 carries, it's a waste of $8 million, that's for sure. But if he gets 20, 25, gets all lathered up, gets in there and starts hitting people, I think it's worth it. And it helps you in the fourth quarter, too. Like, just hand the ball off if you're up.
Yeah, well, and the Ravens might have the flexibility to give him 15 carries, but then maybe he's healthier throughout the year and provides more of a spark if they can, if he can, be more productive that way.
Chase, I'm just thinking this RPO, like, you don't know if Lamar, like this, like tiny, quick, slick guy's getting it, or just freaking King Henry. Like, that's gonna be. I know you obviously health's a big thing, and now with the extra game, and there's just so much physicality. But like to start the year, the hype of like you don't know who's getting the ball. Like, if I'm a linebacker on defense, I'm gonna be pissed.
And it's just Derrick Henry's such a heavy guy to tackle over a game, and you throw in Pat Ricard in front of him, 300-pound defensive tackle who basically is a fullback now. I mean, that's a lot of weight, not even mentioning the offensive line, whoever they end up with, because I don't know who it could be. if you pencil in right now, Ben Cleveland and Andrew Voorhees, I think they're both around 320. I think last time I checked, they're both huge dudes. Or even if you put Faalele in there, I mean, another big guy. They're running downhill quick on you.
Yeah,
That's what they need.
Yeah.
Well, it's been exciting. It'll continue to be exciting up until the draft, and that'll also be kind of fun to see how that shakes out. And I'm sure we'll do a quick little like mock draft before that happens. Chase, when does that happen?
The draft?
Yeah.
I think it's the last weekend of April.
Okay. So we got a little time.
By the way, this is the thing I hate most about the beginning of free agency is it's literally mid-March. The NFL season doesn't start for like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just wait till we get to minicamp, OTAs, all those useless summer days where you're just picking through the wasteland of news about who showed up and who didn't and who made a great catch. What seventh rounder made a great catch on your starting cornerback and why you should cut that cornerback. It's a great time of year.
We're not one of those shows though. We're gonna talk about baseball that's happening real time. We're not gonna just talk about LeBron James, OTAs, and whatever else.
Where LeBron James is gonna sign, no, and I usually don't care about free agency a whole lot just because it seems like a lot of guys are only signing a 1-year deal and they're just gonna get released next year. And it seems more common now, especially with the cap. People the Broncos ate $80 million this year. So basically that tells me anyone's on the table at any point. You know, a few years ago when the Eagles were thinking about eating $30 million for Carson Wentz, it seemed asinine and the most improbable thing ever. And the Broncos basically went and tripled that. So, I think it's setting a bad precedent for the NFL, but at the same time, it is cool to see a lot of guys who aren't cooked, still have some tire, going on their career, able to switch teams and make, and it's not just everyone signing with one team. It's not a dream team thing. It's all, a lot of interdivisional swaps and people just moving to teams that are better set. So, this year feels a little different than other years, especially with the activity. And it could just be that guys want to get their money before everyone else takes it, and then they're stuck on the market until September. So yeah.
I'm just glad we didn't do any of those bets for that. I've been so far off on everything.
Yeah, this year was a hard one to predict, and there's still probably going to be moves too. There's going to be people that are cuts, and those are the guys that really care about a free agency, though. And if you talk about it, the reason why they're so much more important than these guys who are signing right now is because these guys will affect your compensatory picks. So any guy who's not released will count against you versus a guy who's a post-June 1 cut, which the Ravens thrive on. They cost you nothing for compensatory picks. And you always want to be getting the picks, not giving them out.
Right. I didn't think about that yet.
Yeah.
Good point, Chase.
Yeah, so the guys who have gotten cut over the last few days, those are the more, I would say, the better signings overall. Whether or not it may be a big name or a guy you don't know, those will typically help your team more than anything, just along the fact that you're not going to lose a pick. Whether or not they make the team or not, at least they're not being reckless and spending it on somebody. Now, that's not to say if you have somebody who's going to leave in free agency and you're going to get the pick, you might as well just spend it. Like, either keep it for the draft or sign somebody else and it'll just cancel out. So there's ways to work around it. But I think the teams that are really successful are the ones that go ahead and take guys who are cut, flyers on people, guys you may have never heard, or fell out of favor and had a down year and they're just looking for a bounce back.
True.
Yeah.
That's good points, Chase. But why don't we, unless you guys have anything else with the NFL, you want to pivot to talk about the Sixers-Knicks game so you can rub it in my face?
Yeah. Well, real quick, I just want to check real time just to ensure Maxey is playing tonight. By the way, I thought it was a home and home and both games were at the Garden.
For the record, Ryan won't let me turn the game on right now, even though I want to. It's 17-7.
I just want to make sure Maxey's playing.
Maxey is
that's
starting.
That's all I care about.
I heard multiple people saying he was.
OG,
yeah, he's
also
playing.
OG's back for the Knicks, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
But
All right. Well, let's all right. We'll go to that. So if everyone, I'm sure, can see this now.
Oh yeah, the ultimate barn burner of the NBA, lowest scoring game since 2016. Neither team got to 80 points. For the record, Friday night, the Sixers ended up losing to the Pelicans by like 8 or something. They put up 90-some points, only at 34 points at the half. Similar situation in this game, except their defense was playing really well. I mean, everyone's going to say it was Brick Nation. Yes, there were plenty of terrible shots by both teams, but ultimately, Sixers come out on top. Some key takeaways for me personally, and I don't know if either of you watched the game, but Kelly Oubre, I thought did a great job. He had to guard Jalen Brunson just about the entire game, and I thought he did a pretty good job at slowing him down for the most part. Brunson's a very crafty guy. We all, I think, like Brunson. Nova guy, Knicks guy now. But yeah, Ben, you made a point. Scroll back down there. The Knicks have Shake Milton. He didn't get any time this game.
He's not gotten any time all year with anyone, really.
I was looking. They have their shooting guards, right? But Josh Hart and DiVincenzo couldn't hit anything all night. I don't think
Shake's played with the Knicks at all this year. He played a little bit earlier in the year with the Pistons and the Timberwolves. Oh, he got 1 minute.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. This was literally like, I don't know. The reason I like games like this more, it might be a cold take, but every basket means so much more. And in a sport where nowadays you can have a 140 to 130 game, no problem, and it's just 3 after 3 after 3, like it's fun until everyone makes everything. To me, that's not fun. It's fun when you get someone going hot. And yeah, it didn't happen this game, but literally every shot, Lowry hit a crazy clutch 3 down the stretch, every drive, every pass. Tobias Harris drove in late in the fourth quarter, got triple team, kicked it out to a wide open Buddy Hield, who had a great game off the bench, by the way. There were some efficient players. Paul Reed, Buddy Hield, great bench play by the Sixers.
I would just like to point out that I would never have guessed Nicholas Batum was plus 18 with this stat line. Look at that.
How does that even work? Is it because he had 2 steals, 3 assists, and 10 rebounds?
Yeah. Which, by the way, he's also the 76ers' best inbound passer, which pisses Lindsay off to no end. That one game when he was coming back from an injury, he played 0 minutes on the box score, had zeros across the board just because at the end of the first half, at the end of the game, they had him inbound a pass. And the Sixers guy got fouled and he got subbed out at the free throw.
Paul Reed with 4 blocks, 7 boards. Like that's a
huge bright spot. Huge bright spot to try to fill the void of 7'2" MVP caliber Joel Embiid. Paul Reed, what is he, like 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 6'8", 6'9". Okay. He is a tiny center, but he's a modern day center, and his offensive ability has grown. He shoots the 3 ball once or twice a game, and he makes, I feel like, almost 1 a game. So been huge. I think Nick Nurse is doing a great job rotation-wise. I mean, you were missing Maxey, Embiid, DeAnthony Melton the past week. Lost some bad games against some bad teams. But the biggest thing is here, and Ben can get to the Knicks in a second, but I'm sure we got to pull up the standings because we talked about weekly. We got to find a way to make sure the Sixers stay out of that 7 through 10 spot. And I'm sure, Ben, you're probably the same way with the Knicks, right?
Yeah, I don't really want to face the Heat or the Pacers. Heat and Pacers both down scare me a little bit. I'm not really worried about the Bulls.
No.
I mean, I guess the Hawks could maybe do some damage, but the Heat are always dangerous. Let's be real. The Heat and the Pacers they're a solid team. So either of those two can make some can do some damage.
Yeah, and all the Sixers fans out there saying they're in trouble. Let's just point out they went 1-3 in their last 4 games, losing to teams like the Nets and the injury-riddled Grizzlies, the Pelicans, which, okay, that's a valid loss. And then they beat the Knicks, scoring 79 points. They somehow only dropped 1 spot. They were as low as like the 8th, I think, over the weekend. But the Pacers and the Heat have lost enough. They're not going to drop as low as the Hawks, and they just have to find a way to generate enough wins. And didn't think the Knicks would be in a similar position, Ben, but, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, Anunoby. These guys have been out, and they've been kind of sliding too. I mean, they're still in the 4 hole, but you look 4 through 8 is sketchy.
It's been like that for a while. And the Knicks, I mean, granted, I'm not the biggest Tom Thibodeau fan, but he has definitely created a culture, more of a winning culture than years past, just in general with the Knicks. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, they've been struggling. I mean, they're, he's starting these guys like to no end, like he always does. But I mean, Precious Achiuwa should be a bench guy, and he's getting 36 minutes. And I mean, I was never the biggest fan of the trade that they made with OG Anunoby. I know that the Knicks really like him. I still really liked Barrett and then quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think this team is going to win a championship. So I don't know what their goal is, but I mean, I think they have enough this year to at least go to win a playoff series and then see what happens after that.
You think they could get to the second round?
Yeah, they did last year.
Oh, that's right.
And I mean, Bogdanovich can get hot off the bench if they're healthy.
He was a good
Burks can get hot off the bench. I like McBride. I'm glad they're finally playing a young guard who I think could be pretty good. So yeah, we'll see. I like what the Knicks are doing. It's nice to see them being relevant again. Not a lot of my teams in general are relevant these days, so I like it.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, you probably don't have to share this, but I just realized, have you been alive for any of your team's championships?
Nope, never.
So just Ben's Big Four: Knicks,
nope,
right? Jets,
yeah,
Mets, and technically Islanders.
But
now you have seen plenty
I
of.
wouldn't get super hype if the Islanders won.
You would?
Yeah,
wouldn't.
Like, you wouldn't?
I mean, I'd be excited, but I wouldn't be like.
But now your collegiate team, UConn, has done a fantastic job and won some national titles.
It didn't feel the same, but yeah.
It's just crazy to me, like living through an Eagles and a Phillies championship. We're like,
I'm sure it was great.
But I say it doesn't happen to me a lot, but I don't want to like put you down. But like, it's just crazy that you haven't seen technically one out of the Big Four.
Nope. And 2015 was the only time I ever saw them in a championship with the Mets. Damn. Technically 2000 they were in the championship, but I don't really remember that a ton. I was maybe just turned 5.
I mean, some good teams, but also some. The good part about you being a fan in New York is like there's always relevancy there, and even teams like the Knicks now, like the Garden was popping on Sunday, and it was literally they scored 73 points.
It's good. The Knicks went through a pretty long stretch of mediocrity, so to see them at least being relevant and being, I mean, they're going to get in the playoffs. That's to some extent this year, so at least to see that is good. But like, I mean, the Jets, it's been 13 years, and for football with like the expanded playoffs, like that's kind of crazy.
If you had to pick, gun to your head, to put money on one of those 4 teams to win a championship, who do you think does it first?
I'm gonna say the Mets.
I like it.
All right,
not just because I want them to win it most. I think baseball, you can catch lightning in a bottle more easily with baseball and just kind of have a magical year. Also knowing that Steve Cohen is willing to shell out plenty of money for players is helpful. So I think just knowing all that, they have the best shot.
Yep. You hear that, Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, and the Jets. Yeah. Did you first of all, Aaron Rodgers,
I know.
Do not start being a vice president. I don't just play with the Jets 1 year, give it your all, and then be done.
That would be really insane that the active vice president is also the quarterback of the Jets.
He knows the election's in November, right? That's football season. What is he doing?
He's just clout chasing.
I just want one healthy season of Aaron Rodgers and to see what happens because the rest of the team has talent.
I do too. I'll agree with you. I want to see him healthy just for 1 year. Like,
I mean, a season. And he's got some legit wide receivers too. Like Garrett Wilson's a better wide receiver than he's had in a long time. The two of them could make some, and Breece Hall is a great running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Jets. So Woody Johnson. Get this message.
Yeah, Woody Johnson. So, but yeah, anyway, so the NBA, we'll continue watching, and I think we may not talk about it next couple of weeks only because college basketball kind of end up taking a front seat. I'm sure.
Yeah, which we haven't touched on at all like this whole year. So
no, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we won't talk about it now. I know UConn has been just dominating, but that's we'll see. It's hard to repeat.
Yeah.
Should we pivot, talk some UFC?
Let's do it.
So
you can probably stop sharing the Knicks Sixers game, Ben.
You don't want to keep watching?
I don't need that score.
26-12.
I don't need that right now. We can pull it up later.
You know who the Sixers are missing right now to help get this lead back? Robert Covington.
Oh, Robert Rocco.
Where is Covington?
They're 12, and the first quarter's about over.
Oh my god!
No one else has scored.
Oh, every time Tobias doesn't play well, I just want him to play well so the haters can stop hating.
He's just not consistent enough, my guy.
Nope.
No, I know you like him. He's just not.
Yeah, I
consistent
know.
enough.
I wouldn't love him as much. Like I wouldn't root for him as much as I do if he didn't have as many haters as he did.
I know you like him more because people hate him more.
Yeah, he's the second longest tenured guy behind Embiid, and he's been a great locker room guy. So besides the point.
But all right, let's talk about some UFC. So I did not watch the too much of the prelims, Chase. I don't know about you.
I caught more of the prelims, less of the main card.
Okay. See, I caught the main
disclosure
out of the prelims.
Yeah, we were out to eat at Chickies and Pete's. Shout out for Chickies and Pete's for having the card on. That was really cool. Also, they kept cutting the audio of the music every time the fight came back on. Really cool move. I respected that a lot. Obviously, I was not going to stay out for the main card. I was pretty gassed at that point. We came home, and then I fell immediately asleep. So I had to go back through like most other people and watch the highlights. But I would say this card delivered.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know. I didn't see it live, but I know there was a lot of hype around that the Despaigne guy. I forget. Just because is he the biggest dude in the UFC like ever or something?
I think so. He's one of them at least.
15 seconds. 6'7", 260.
Holy
61.
smokes!
Yeah,
and just a big...
the nickname. You see his nickname, the Big Boy. Oh my god!
Yeah. So that was, an 18-second KO. But yeah, the prelim, the end of the prelims and the final, just stacked card, just super stacked.
Yeah, it was. It really took off. Pedro Munoz, I don't say I hate him at all, but he just looked like he did not have the extra gear in that fight against Kyle Phillips. You could probably say the same thing about RDA, just didn't have it against Gamrot. And all those guys have really good experience. So you thought that maybe it could be a guy who just grinds it out experience-wise, but they just didn't have it. But really good spot for those other two guys to get a win, a big win, especially for Kyle Phillips. He's still trying to build his name. Hopefully he gets ranked from this fight. He should be able to swap spots with Munoz. So good way to set up, a peak in his career.
Yeah, and a big win for Curtis Blades too. A KO in a big way against a really tough guy in Almeida.
Yeah,
that was a great stepping stone for him.
Yeah, especially Curtis Blades has always been in title contention, always been in elimination, and just could never close the gap. And Almeida is a guy who really came on and has been, trying to push himself into that spot. So for him to get a loss against Blades, he's going to have to refine his way back in. But for Blades, it's good that he can keep himself right there and, always have a reason to be fighting someone with a belt.
Yeah, it seemed like the whole theme of this card was almost like the older guys, like the former, like, best dudes in the world, like holding guard over like the prospect up and comer like studs.
Yeah, this was definitely a card where you could buy into too much of the hype and find yourself with a losing ticket right away.
Yeah, and so some big fights. I did watch all these. Jan looked great. He looked really good
Yeah.
against. And a name, speaking of names that we could have added to our fun names, Song
Yeah.
Yadong.
Song Yadong, that's a name.
Classic Song Yadong.
Yeah, but a great win for Jan, who had struggled recently, and gets back in the win column to, he looked like unbeatable at one point, so that's a big one for him.
Yeah, and then he just had a run where he could just not get anything going for him. So it was good to see him come out and be dominant again. Just show that whole form.
Yeah, and for the record, I did put a 3-team parlay out on AFR Show Pod.
I was going to ask you to break it down.
Yeah, so first one I had on was Della Maddalena. Is that I don't know if that's
Jack.
Anyway, losing the whole fight, but was staying in there, and I think Gilbert Burns just didn't necessarily respect it. I mean, Maddalena stayed composed the whole time, and he just delivered some nasty elbows and some wicked shots. And I like Burns, but he was losing that fight and up first 2 rounds. Burns was probably up 2-0, and his corner, Del Medell's corner told him he needs to finish, and he got it done. So
that's wild, knowing that you have to finish against Gilbert Burns. So good first check on your leg.
Yep. So the first leg hit. Second one, this is where it screwed up. I picked Kevin Holland. I'll be honest, I haven't seen Michael Venom Page fight. This is his first fight in the UFC. He's not a new fighter, but this is his first UFC fight. What a crazy stance and style of fighting he has. I mean, Kevin Holland got so frustrated throughout the fight. He looked like he just gave up towards the end because he was just getting pissed off and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't reach him. Michael Page was just explosive, and his just weird karate stance where he barely has he just snaps in at you. It's not something you probably can train for very well.
No. Yeah, and if you're familiar with Wonder Boy and you're annoyed with his style, then Michael Venom Page is along that same block, But this is exciting, like you said. He's been a Bellator mainstay, and finally had his contract run out, and the UFC snapped him up. And it was one of the few times where the UFC really showed their ass about somebody that they wanted. Right away. There was a lot of smoke the second he ran out of his fight. And even leading up to the last few fights on his contract, the UFC was, showing some interest, which they usually try to at least go with a lot of anonymity and, cloud the situation. But I think it's a win for the UFC to come in. Obviously, it was a big debut for him, and he got the win. So he's late in his 30s now, and he wants a title push, a lot like how Chandler came into the UFC. So I think he's going to put himself right in that position, especially record-wise.
Yeah, and that fight, I mean, it was probably 1-1 going in the third round, and it just, I mean, you could tell Kevin Holland was getting so frustrated, and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. He was
it's not a bad leg to miss. I mean, I know obviously you want them all to hit, but
yeah. And then the third leg was Dustin Poirier at plus 180.
Your boy,
probably top 2, top 3 favorite fighter in the UFC. Honestly, of all time. I love Dustin Poirier. Shout out to Chase for that glove. Have it up there, completed the whole line. So I have 9 gloves all up there.
9 signed gloves on the wall.
Gloves on the wall.
That glove just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, no, and this fight, I mean, so he took this fight against St. Dennis, who I actually didn't realize it, but I watched his last fight, and I don't always know when I'm going to actually watch a card, because sometimes they get really late. But I watched his last fight, and I just remember him getting beaten up to no end, and he just kept coming forward, and it was one of those fights that really, really should have been stopped. I don't know if you saw that fight, Chase.
Yeah.
But he should have been. I mean, the ref should have probably stopped it, and didn't. And he came out. I think he came out on top, but.
Yep.
This is a tough fight for Dustin, who takes.
Yeah, well, hold on. This is crazy looking at the stats. It looks like he's losing the fight all around.
He was losing. Well, he was losing the fight. St. Dennis just started with a crazy pace and was just punching him, going to work. Dustin was looking gassed. I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff in the clinch. He was taking him down. Dustin was going for guillotine after guillotine, even though his corner kept telling him to stop.
Yep.
and he kept putting himself into bad positions when you could tell if he just stood up, it would have been fine. But Zay Dennis just kept coming forward. He did not respect the power of Dustin Poirier, which is kind of crazy considering Dustin Poirier is probably, a top 5 boxer in the UFC, along with someone like Max Holloway and guys like that.
Oh,
so, and Dustin Poirier just, connected, put him out, and it was a huge win against, I think he was ranked 11th or something. And Dustin Poirier is a top 5 guy. So to take that fight, to win that fight, he's put himself right in title contention again, even though he lost to Gaethje last time. And, he could, between the timing with Gaethje fighting at UFC 300, he could get the next title shot. And that could be his last chance. And he knows that's basically the last thing he wants to do. I mean, he was a rookie in, I think, 2012, 2011. So he's been doing this a long time.
Has he always fought in lightweight? Or did
I'm pretty sure.
I think he has.
And he's never won? He's never been
He was the interim champ.
Yeah.
That's what you're given.
No, it's just the belt was vacant. And so we got but the interim is not technically the undisputed.
He's never beaten the guy who had the belt.
He had to face Khabib to unify the belt, is what happened to get the full belt. Is he faced Khabib,
and he lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so his interim fight for the belt he won, and then his other title shot was against Khabib and he lost.
Yes.
That you know of.
Yes.
On top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you were saying, Ben, just to build off it a little bit, this just seemed like a fight where Poirier knew what he can do and what he can't do, and he was biding his energy and just waiting for that moment. And once he just unleashed that combo on him, it was a vintage Poirier move, and it was over. He landed some great punches, really clean on the side of the head, and for Poirier, it's a huge win because I don't know how many other people were willing to fight Saint Denis going into this fight. It seemed like a lot of people were turning him down, and Poirier stepped up, and nobody thought he was going to win this fight. Vegas didn't think he was going to win this fight, and he goes out there and shows them why experience is sometimes better than just a hot prospect.
Yeah, I agree. I was just gonna kind of go through the knockout here.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Let's pull that puppy up.
See if we can find it. I know there's sometimes these videos kind of screw with you, and then you click on them and you don't actually get the knockout.
Yeah, the UFC one won't, but every other one who wants
the UFC's like super guarded with showing their knockouts for some reason, which is why it was weird. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was a fight like 2 weeks ago or something,
and they showed it.
Yeah,
it was the flying knee from the undercard. Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to find it very well. I can already tell, but I'll try this one more. Yeah, they're not going to show the. It's just
that's so
picture.
Dumb.
Yeah.
So,
are you on Twitter?
No, I guess Twitter will have it, right?
Oh yeah, Twitter will have it. Okay. They'll have everything.
All right. Well.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, Dustin Poirier, I feel like has been a hometown. Like, you guys have always just rooted for him, Ben. I know he's one of your favorites. I always liked him, so it's nice to see him get another win. I mean, 30 wins is crazy.
Yeah.
For any fighter.
Yeah, he's just a good guy. You can tell he just has that quality about him where if you ran into him on the street, he'd be, graceful towards you and, just seems like a really down-to-earth guy. And it's cool to see him get this far and be, go from just a contender to a legend at this point. He's really just cementing his legacy. And it's really cool because I feel like MMA is one of those sports where if you fall off hard. You can have a Tony Ferguson fall and you become a meme versus a legend.
Yeah, and I appreciate when he said that, like, I think it was Eddie Alvarez gave him a shot when he was kind of like outside that top spot, so he wanted to give this dude a shot. And so I mean, you can see, so here you can see cage side. This is not a great view.
I mean,
at least it's something. We'll see if it plays. If it doesn't, we can just move on to something else. But
yeah, we can move on to the main event of the night.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Let's
a
just-
bummer. The stupid
Yeah.
ad loads.
Yeah. Let's just move on to the main event.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, in the main event, we had O'Malley and Vera. O'Malley with the win. I don't think super surprising there.
No.
Cheeto
Look at
Vera,
the total strikes, though.
I know, it's absolutely insane.
Holy smokes.
Cheeto Vera, though,
Oh
absolutely
my God.
crazy. He's never been knocked down. He's never been knocked out or submitted in a fight in his pro
Yeah.
career.
And the stuff that O'Malley was landing on him probably would have knocked out 9/10 of the people he was fighting.
And he's been around for a minute, too.
Yeah. And
All
he
of his
held a
losses
win.
were just by decision.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
He held a win over O'Malley. So for O'Malley, this was a revenge fight for him. Their first fight ended a little weird. If you remember, O'Malley hurt his foot and the fight kind of ended a little prematurely. But at that point, it was a huge win nonetheless for Cheeto Vera. Really put himself in a good position. I mean, look at the guys he drew after that: Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, Rob Font, Dominic Cruz, Sanhagen, Munoz. So he's been fighting in the upper echelon of the guys since that win. Not to say that it wasn't before, but he's definitely was fighting a higher caliber of guys. Oh yeah, Willie G. Baran, yeah.
Yeah, who's that?
I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. He might be.
Holy tiny.
Nicknamed the
When did he
Beastmaster.
fight? 2022.
Road to
Yeah.
UFC episode 4. Oh.
Yeah, so he fell out and then he's been trying to get back in. But yeah, another guy would have been great for our bracket name list.
Yeah. What is
Willie G.
this?
Baran. But yeah, I mean, Sean O'Malley was just landing an insane knees, elbows, punches. He was really throwing it out there. And for O'Malley, he was probably a top guy. If you're just looking at it based off flow, there's a certain group of guys who just will throw anything and everything at you. I think John Jones is on that list. Sean O'Malley for sure is on that list because he throws wild punches from different angles, unorthodox things. And I think it's really hard for somebody in the moment. And you could see Marlon Vera. I mean, props to him for staying in the fight. But if he would have went out from any of those, you would probably understand why. I mean, he was just landing insane shots after insane shots.
This is crazy. Crazy
Yeah.
shit.
And I mean, we should give him credit. Oh, O'Malley's just been on a crazy run so far.
Yeah.
Of wins. And if you take out that Marlon Vera loss, he hasn't lost in
No, he's
years.
18-1, so never.
Yeah. He would and all of his the KO wins are impressive knockouts too. They're not just it was a cheap shot towards the end of the fight. No, he was beating the crap out of all these guys and then put them out.
Yeah, and O'Malley's not my favorite guy, but I appreciate his striking. I mean, he's a great striker, and his fights are generally pretty exciting. So, that division, it'll be interesting to see kind of who's up next for O'Malley. I don't know.
I guess Divashvili wants a shot.
That probably makes the most sense. Just Merab could be a tough test for him. Honestly, I could see Merab winning. I don't know. But we'll see.
He's a tough dude, and O'Malley. The thing is too is when somebody gets in there that just wants to wrestle him. How is that going to go down?
Yeah.
But so far he's been able to just keep people off, keep a lot of good distance. Like I said, the John Jones method, where he's just picking at your legs, picking at your hips, picking at your head. So every time you try to make a move, he's landed so many punches on you that you just have to be a psycho and just keep going for it. And Merab will probably do that to him. But O'Malley, I would say he's definitely abrasive on the surface. He definitely probably pushes a lot of people away with his antics, but I mean, undeniable talent in the octagon, and you can see why Dana White has for so long believed in him to be a champ. So
yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah, no, and it'll be there's some great cards coming up. Obviously, UFC 300, so we'll continue to kind of touch base on that stuff. But Chase, it was some big news over the weekend. Your NASCAR pick, I think, coming to a head and having a great race in Phoenix. I'll share share the tab here, but here is the result from this was the last one, right?
Yep,
Phoenix.
last at Phoenix.
And
so far,
bam, look who's in first.
Yeah,
That's insane.
And I'll talk about it real quick. Christopher Bell, so far through 3 races going into this, needed something drastic. I mean, in Daytona, got involved in a wreck, not so great. Atlanta, same thing. Just was not having great luck. Had really fast cars, though, the entire time. And finally got it together, led 50 laps, won the race, which was huge. He needed those 50 points. It really catapulted him back into the conversation. In the driver's standings, so Ryan Blaney still in first, Kyle Larson in second, Truex, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Suarez round out the top 10. But Christopher Bell moved up 9 spots to number 12. So really big for him to get that win. He was dying for points, like I said. And so far, the Toyotas have been really consistent, I would say, on the year. They've done really good cars.
Chase, how is he in
competitive?
Has less points
because he has a win.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Chase,
the win does a whole lot.
You guarantee yourself a spot in the playoffs,
So-
right?
Yeah,
so I'm not just looking at this category as to like top, like
yeah. I mean, it's weird with the points because a lot of guys,
it's got 2 top 5s.
yeah, some of the guys, if you win the stage too, you get points from that. So there's just been guys who have been cleaning up on the stage portion but not finishing so hot. So that's
3
where they're
top-
getting a lot of points.
No.
Ryan Blaney, again, champ last year, putting himself in really good positions again this year to repeat. Bubba Wallace got 2 top 5 finishes. Gotta say he basically lucked out with both of those, getting into the top 5, Daytona and Atlanta, almost by virtue of how many wrecks and just the position he was in because he didn't wreck. So I'm wrecking you, Bubba Wallace. But yeah, I mean, I think talent-wise, not that great. Maybe not the top A cream of the crop, but solid driver nonetheless for him. And those 2 top 5 wins are keeping him in a good position points-wise. But Christopher Bell, needed a win. Really just needed to finish the race in a top position. So to get the win was super important for me, for picking him to win the championship this year. So big win for him, locking himself into postseason contention.
That's awesome, Chase. Yeah, hopefully if anyone took that bet, let us know.
What was it like?
Yeah.
Plus 1,000 or something?
Yeah, it was I don't even
900?
remember at this point, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to find the ticket.
Awesome.
But I mean, you never know. I mean, NASCAR, just like every other sport, has momentum. So that I'm with you, Chase. That was a huge win for him, and it was a clutch win because he needed it. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like a Bubba Wallace type, as you pointed out, type way of winning. He won the race fair and square, and maybe he can build something on that. So
yeah, and he's had a fast car. I mean, he's been qualifying good, and just the thing about NASCAR too is you can be the fastest guy, but you're just unlucky in the race. Stuff happens around you and takes you out, and you had a strong car, maybe the strongest all day, and now you're out. So definitely one of the sports where it's feast or famine, and he was getting to the point where if he didn't get a substantial amount of points, people are just going to start to pull away after a certain point. Really consistent guys. So yeah, big win.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Appreciate the the updates every week because I don't follow it. So, but I'm rooting for Christopher Bell for sure.
Yeah, Chase, we're on the Christopher Bell train.
We're on the Christopher Bell.
Yeah, and maybe if we'll be hyping him up all season, we'll have to get him on. Maybe we'll see.
Oh my gosh,
If
that's a
you
big
get
ask.
Case, I'm in.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would
so
be a
in.
huge ask, but you never know. Those guys are a little
You
different.
don't have to dictate the questions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I
We'll
feel
just
like
clip together every time we hyped him up, compile it. It'll probably be an hour long. Send it to him,
It'd be like,
and
so
if
these are
that
my-
doesn't convince him, then I'll never pick him again.
If he asked him his favorite racer growing up, we would definitely know. I feel like the mid 2000s, like those
it's
racers.
Jeff Gordon.
Yeah,
Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, I mean, for him, his career's been so long at this point. He got to race against a lot of the people he looked up to. So
True.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dang. But all right, well, the final portion of the episode today, obviously, we'll probably do a quick immaculate grid. You guys don't have to stay for that. But crazy names. I'm going to share kind of the first 32 bracket here.
Yeah, so just re-break it down. Last week, we talked about we love March Madness, we love brackets, and basically we just chose, and we're going to break it up into 232 teams because we realize that 64 names is insane. We still do have 64 names, but we're starting with 32 of the craziest names in all different types of athletes across the world in all different sports. And that's what the coolest thing about this is I mean, basically you can play any sport and have a wild name. So there's no hiding either.
Yeah. So first one, Lars Newbar took the dub. He got the easy win. Chase, I'm putting you on the spot. Ron Tugnut and Hippo Vaughn got a tie.
Yeah. And real quick, how does voting work again, just for everyone?
We have it on Instagram, 24 hours. Put in the vote. But Chase, Ron Tugnut, Hippo Vaughn got the tie. Since you didn't vote on Insta, I'm going to put you on the spot, and whoever you decide is going to go through.
Do you want to know the backgrounds at all, or are you just going straight name right here, Chase?
Oh.
You can think about it for a second.
All right. On the surface, I'm going Hippo Vaughn, but Ron Tugnut, depending on his stats, might pull me in.
I have no idea where either of these guys came
from.
Ron
Tugnut, I think he's a baseball player.
Yeah.
Tugnut?
Oh, no, he's a hockey goalie.
Oh, my God.
And Ron Tugnut's a hockey goalie, and Hippo Vaughn, I think, is a baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a baseball
player. Well, it depends. How long did Hippo Vaughn live?
Well, he was 78. Oh, my God.
Oh! Okay, Hippo.
Damn.
I think.
All right, Ron Tugnut.
So Hippo Vaughn.
Oh, he's not an 1800 guy.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he's born, but he didn't play.
I mean, he started in 1908.
Why didn't he play in 09?
I don't know. Was there something going on in 09?
Oh, a triple crown and an ERA title? Come on.
No Hall of Fame though. Damn, that's a crazy year.
Oh, was he on the Cubs' World Series team?
Yes.
Wasn't he?
Oh, it doesn't say
he's a World Series champion. I thought that was...
Maybe it was earlier.
That's ridiculous stats by Hippo.
Yeah. But anyway, as you think about it, Chase, we are... This is a top 32, and then there's going to be a bottom 32. We're going to combine all of it for a 16, basically Sweet 16, and post it. We're going to do reels about it. But we want to get through some of these too. So it's just something fun as we approach March Madness. Right now, Catfish Hunter and the Only Nolan is currently up on Insta to vote. So I encourage everyone to go on there. Doesn't matter if you know either the guy, just pick the name that you like the best. Is really all that there is to it. Currently, right now, Catfish Hunter has a lead, but there is still a lot of time left, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh man!
So
gotta say, I'm an Only Nolan fan in that matchup.
Okay, and we got a lot of good matchups and a lot of guys that are not even on this top one that we're excited to test out. And see everyone's reaction.
By the way, I'm making my pick right now. I'm going with Ron Tugnut.
Ron Tugnut advances.
Yeah.
We need a hockey goalie in this competition, so let's put him in.
So we got the round of 32 matchup set up with Lars Newbar against Ron Tugnut.
So a modern day baseball guy. Yeah, you're right, Chase. I like it. And Tugnut it just sounds like
all right. So
I wonder if there's a Mrs. Tugnut out there. Or like little Tugnuts running around. By the way, Lars Newbar, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna break these down more depending on how far they get.
He's a top seed, top one seed.
Newbar sounds like a Nutter Butter and a Fig Bar had a baby. Like there's two cookies.
Yeah, there's gonna be some tough matchups for him. I mean, you got like Tree Rollins down there, Turkey Stearns, some good matchups. We're about Kaka and some great ones. Brickyard Kennedy and Your Highness Morgan. So
Greasy Neal.
Yeah,
Greasy. Yeah,
that's gonna be a slippery matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. So keep a lookout for that, guys. We're excited about it, and we're always excited about.
We appreciate everyone participating too.
Yeah.
This is fun. We can sit at home and fill these out all we want, but we want to see what everyone likes because.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, Chase, you made the call, Tugnut what it was. I actually didn't vote on that one because I didn't know who I wanted to pick either. So I'm glad Ben put you on the spot, not me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get it.
If there's a tie, Ryan's next.
Unless I vote.
Unless you vote.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we just pull up the Immaculate Grid?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's watching and wants to help.
Yeah, of course. If anyone's watching and wants to chime in, please do. Chase, do you have anything else regarding the bracket? That was kind of something that Lindsay thought of, but also Chase kind of ran with too. So
yeah, no, I'm just happy we're in the thick of it now.
Yeah, we got to get some
votes.
We break it down. Let's get some let's get after. We call it a segment. Let's get some crazy, funny music going on low in the background as we're talking about it, and just let's have fun with this. I mean, it's gonna go. It's starting before March Madness. It's gonna end after March Madness because we got a lot of news to cover. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chase could pull some songs too.
Electric Zoo.
Some feeding the ducks right here.
Yeah.
Some feeding the ducks.
Yeah, just something. We'll see.
We'll see what going.
We can add stuff though too.
Yeah.
All right, Immaculate Grid time. All right, here we go. I do not have it shared, so I'm gonna share it. All righty. Everyone ready?
Oh yeah.
Everyone see it? The freaking A's, man. God dang it.
Oh my gosh, and they're the ones down the. Oh my goodness.
All right, well, in Cleveland, CC has 200 wins, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Easy.
Cliff Lee for the Rangers. Does he have 200? 200 wins, Cliff Lee?
I think so. He's probably close.
He's got a sketchy early. Oh, I might pull a Ben.
Nope.
It's all good. Coco Crisp.
Yeah, I think he's one of these.
I feel like
did he play for Cleveland?
I feel like he played for Cleveland, but I just missed.
Nice.
A good hit.
A's Texas.
Oh.
Oh boy. It's gonna be Keith Folk, right?
Yeah.
Oh. So close.
Andrews.
Did
Andrews play with the A's?
Who?
Oh, Simeon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, classic.
It's a good hit, Chase.
A's Twins. Duffy.
I'm gonna just go. Sorry, what was that?
Duffy.
Oh yeah.
Reliever.
Danny?
No. The hell's his name? Tyler Duffy. What the? It's Duffey or whatever. Yeah. What the? Who was the reliever that they had? They just signed their highest paid reliever from last year, or was that Duffy?
I don't know, Chase.
Oh well, did the season not start yet, Chase? Is that cut? Is that why?
No, it was whoever they paid the most last year was.
I got nothing.
I don't know.
All right, I'll pull it up.
I don't know.
Okay.
Outfield. I'm gonna go Strus. Hate him. I fucking hate Max Strus.
Max Strus is the NBA player.
Oh, who am I thinking of?
You know
what I'm thinking?
Is it Muncy? No. Now you got me all messed up.
I think it's Max.
The 2 X's. Holy Max. Is it 2 X's?
No,
hit a second X. Hit MAXX. You won't. Okay.
Wait, they're outfielder?
Yeah. Straw. Miles Straw.
Oh, yeah.
Miles Straw.
It's garbage. It's so bad. Tavares. I'll just do that guy.
And call it. You
Or
don't want to guess
Yachty.
anyone else?
I mean, he was pretty.
Oh, 2%. Okay.
Josh Donaldson. That's a brick.
Oh, I was going to say a third baseman, too.
Dang.
Okay, first off, who the heck was the pitcher on the Twins?
Bert Blyleven. He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I've never heard of him.
Bert Blyleven. He's
Bert
a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of
Blyleven?
Famer.
He is?
Mm.
From when did he play? In the 70s and 80s?
Mm. We just played a hot minute.
What team is that?
It's the Angels. They used to be the California Angels.
Oh my gosh.
All right. NBA. We've been doing bad on baseball.
Yo, we've been doing so bad. All right, NBA, I've been watching so let's go,
the
baby. The
Sixers.
Sixers. All right, we can
Shabazz Napier. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So,
You wanna go Shake
I'm not
Milton?
gonna miss him again.
Top left, Shake Milton. Everyone's gonna go Jimmy.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Sixers Nuggets.
I'm thinking of Barton.
Yeah, Barton.
Did you have someone else?
No, that was Barton.
What? Oh, we had Wilson Chandler.
Oh yeah.
You want Wilson Chandler in there?
Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh, that's tough. Zach Levine. That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Why this was it. This was our
was it.
perfect bracket. And
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
10. Did
I
Dallin
forced
Bear?
it. Probably.
That's kind of a sketchy.
Yeah.
pick.
Oh my gosh, I'm so pissed. Oh, Chase, I shouldn't have forced it. I should have just let you go.
Oh, you're good.
Let's Nuggets, Bulls.
Dennis Rodman for the.
Yeah, like that.
Oh my gosh.
Gortat probably has a 10 rebound year, by the way.
Oh, true.
Nice.
Chase, he looks like Uncle Alex every time I see a picture of him. Sorry.
Oh, it's accurate. It's so accurate.
Nuggets. We can get this Nuggets row here. There's 2 left. Come on. I mean, there's so
Nuggets, Wizards.
Also, so I apologize if anyone on Insta has been watching and has been saying stuff because I didn't pull it up.
there's like, did Aaron Gordon spend time on the Bulls?
I don't
No, he was on the Magic. Where was it? Oh, here we go with the Bulls. Why can't I ever think of a bunch of Bulls players?
The Kirk Heinrich.
Okay, yeah.
Who's that? You ever on the Nuggets? Luol Deng.
Oh, I like that. I like it. Go for it.
What? I don't.
Luol Deng,
I don't think
yes.
he was ever on the Nuggets.
No.
Dallin Bear here.
Yeah, at this point. Good hit. I'm so pissed I ruined the grid.
Oh my god, Jalen Rose and Ish Smith.
Oh my gosh, and the worst was AI was literally there.
Jimmy.
Why did they have that picture? Have you ever seen Jimmy Butler play an NBA game with that
No,
picture?
he did it on
I wish he would.
All right, women's basketball. Oh,
Oh,
we have a
Deladon.
shot.
Oh, WNBA, Deladon right there. Let's go.
That's a great hit. Is that it?
I'm done.
That's all you got? Oh, shit.
I can't get Kelsey Plum on here, so I'm out.
Okay. We
1,000
could.
plus assist Tina Charles, right? For the LA team.
Oh, Chase. Kelsey Plum might be here, Chase.
1,000 assists. Put her in.
Damn.
And in 6 years, you don't get to 1,000 assists and go right there, Tina Charles, right?
The teener.
For 1,000 assists, that'd be a lot of assists.
You.
Does Griner have 1,000 assists?
Which one is it? Damn, it's
Oh.
neither.
This is a bad grid.
No, it's
I've
fine,
never
it's
seen
fine.
the double
It's
miss
fine.
like
Lauren
that.
Jackson. Lauren Jackson.
That if
Oh
you
my-
can't get this corner spot,
Okay.
What about
Tarasi.
yeah, Tarasi.
Okay.
holy
Yeah.
smokes, you almost missed that spot.
I don't know, Diggins Smith, maybe. Oof, 9 years to get 1,000.
That's possible.
Nope,
Oh.
that was a bad grid. Candace Parker was who we were looking for.
And Sue Bird.
Mm.
Chamik.
Yep. All right. Well, forget we ever did that one.
Yeah, just move on.
Just move on. Is the previous one better?
No.
Nope,
Oh, Ben, what are we doing here?
Oh
What
my
are you
gosh,
doing?
2,000 rebounds. 10,000 yards passing Falcons. You might as well just put Matt Ryan. 10,000 for the Browns. Jeez.
Oh, this gets a little sketch.
That's shiesty.
Does
Baker?
Joe Flacco count?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh my gosh, you never wait.
Steelers 10,000. Just put Big Ben.
Oh, that's my bad. I don't know.
right.
At least you didn't write
Into
it
the
up.
thick of it.
We're alive.
Oh, Chiefs, Falcons, Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, good. That's a
Whoa, I didn't know he played on the Chiefs.
he started.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Falcons, Lions.
Oh, Juju. No, Juju wasn't on
Yeah.
the Chiefs, was he? No.
Yeah. For 1
Yeah.
year, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these percentages are high.
Yeah, it doesn't
Chiefs,
matter.
Browns. Chiefs, Browns. Kareem Hunt.
Oh, good hit. Okay. The worst is
All right.
when the same guy comes up. The
I know.
same thing. You're like,
Oh,
which
here are
one?
the
All right, this
Lions.
Lions category might get a little out of hand.
We have to
Oh,
think.
Lions, Steelers. God damn it, what's his name? Cam Sutton.
Oh, Chase, a good hit. Cameron, probably.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice. Good
All right,
choice.
Lions, Browns.
The Dominican Sue is never on the Browns or Falcons, right?
No, but I think Josh McCown or one of the McCowns was
Oh.
Browns, Lions.
One of the McCowns.
It might have been Luke McCown.
Do you want to?
Could also be Josh McCown.
Let's hold off for a sec. Let's
Circle
close
back
to-
to them. Lions, Falcons. Jeff Okuda.
Did he just sign with the Falcons?
No, I think he got traded from the Lions to the Falcons, and he just signed with someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know he just signed somewhere, but then what just happened?
Whoa, Ben.
What just happened?
I don't know. That was weird.
I didn't even do. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh. Okay, we're right here. It
All right.
can't come down to the which McCown.
No, yeah. We can find somebody else. All right, Lions, Browns.
What about kickers?
Lions, Browns. Yeah, kickers. I don't know if
Badgley? No.
Austin Seibert maybe or Chase McLaughlin.
I don't know.
I think
Also,
Seibert did.
Tyrod Taylor over a back.
Oh wait, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. I was wondering where he was this year.
let's go.
Let's go.
That was
Good
a
hit,
high.
Chase.
Good hit.
All right, we ended with the 10 for 10, so we're good.
Oh, we had almost
We had
all
of
the
them
top.
except one. All the top ones except one.
That's good.
Wow,
We
that's
didn't
actually
miss any.
crazy. We had the top answers, but whatever. We did it.
We did
That's
it.
kind of hard to do, though. I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Sweden. Jeez.
Why do you
League
ever,
one.
is, it,
That's Marseille.
is that going to help you at all?
No, not at all. All right. All right, everyone. Well, we've been on here long enough, so we appreciate everyone if they've been watching this whole time, listening this whole time, wherever you've been getting it. Yeah, thanks. And we will be back next week with some awesome content with March Madness and our own bracket.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait.
See you guys.